work on this thing after that. Jesus. Tell you what, though, the yard sale thing came in handy. I bought it at a yard sale. Somebody was selling a bunch of cool stuff. Just like this, I have an electric winch, like lift, that I haven't got to yet. But if I get rollers, I can hang it from that. And then you can go back and forth, and I can hoist stuff with that. But this thing, it winches 1,500 pounds, and the cable goes straight through it. It comes out the hook end down there. It has a cutout for it. But that thing pulls continuously the whole time. It's awesome. And it has a really long cable. So it was brand new in the box. God knows where they got it. But yeah, that thing was awesome. But boys, this thing is a mess. I'm definitely scrapping this thing. But I'm taking all the good stuff first. So let me show you what this thing looks like. I don't know where I'm going to keep all this stuff, but I just know that it needs to go. So this, and then all my scrap outside need to go somewhere next weekend. So that I want to get the engine, trans, diff, brakes, probably the Q system, passenger seat, maybe the back seats. That might be about it. That's it. Oh, and there's the steering wheel bag's okay. It's in there. The steering wheel, I guess it's already unbolted. I just take it off of there. We got that. That's about it. I'm not taking a whole lot. Both the doors on the passenger side, because they're both good. But I got plastic vinyl stuck all over the back one. So do we use it or not? Because this plastic vinyl I used did not weather right. Look at this stuff. I mean, it still feels pliable. Why did it do this? That would be a pain to get off of there. I don't know what would even take it off. It's like, these actually have a very nice hood. That hood's aluminum. It's really nice. It's very light. Now, I'm draining the fluids right now. I took off, some simple stuff. The engine cover, the engine bag. I already had that airbag out, but then I pulled the steering wheel out, cleaned it. I had one of the bumper marker lights, and those things are expensive. And then the two little corner lights too. So I got those. What else am I doing? I'll probably take the fuse block with, and probably send it. I don't know. Might take the fuse block off and send that with it, whatever. But it's a lot different than that 4-cylinder turbo. Okay, there's a lot. I mean, there wasn't a lot of room to work around it, but there's definitely not a lot of room to work around this. And I totally forgot. The air conditioning still works on this thing, so I had to have my buddy come over and vac out the system before I even really get started, because I don't want to have that explode on me. So I'm going to come back to you guys tomorrow. That's being that he can come over and do that. Then, guess we'll get back on this then, hopefully. So, I'm starting to get sick, so I don't know how much is going to get done today, but these wheels need to come off because they're going with my car. My car's already gone. It's not here now, but I got to take these wheels out. I sat and picked at this door for a long time last night, and it's getting there. But there's still a lot that needs to come off. WD-40 does a good job of taking like adhesive off. It's stuck on the cars from that wrap that they use at Copart. So I thought I'll try that. That didn't do anything. So there it is. This door might still be savable. I don't know if we'll get any money out of this door if we would go to sell it, but are these aluminum? These are aluminum. There are spiders all over this thing. So there's one right there. There's one on the outside crawling right there. There's one hanging off the passenger side. So these are all going to be in my garage here. That's right, I don't have a latch there. That's why that... Anyways, I might take the rear door off now because I can do that, but I'm going to get the wheels, and then we got to work on the engine and trans. I started disconnecting some stuff, but we're not even really close. Not even a little bit. The fuse block needs to come up. We need to get the harness disconnected so it'll come off with the engine. The radiator and condenser, I'm just going to leave in it. The condenser's actually good. The radiator's the one out of, was it my car? The black car. It's the one out of the black car, because I used the radiator out of the black car, or this car, to fix the one in the black car, because it was cracked. This one, it's, like I said, it was holding... Almost looks like oil came out of that. Ooh. Again, that could have just been what was in the pan. It probably is. Yeah. I just put it in there just so it had antifreeze in the engine, so if I ran it any period of time, you know, I wasn't getting it hot. Since it would hold some fluids. Alright, well, I guess we'll get started. I cleaned this stuff up, took pictures of it. I haven't listed it yet, but will be. But yeah, let's just start tearing things out. I'm not worried about wheel line, like small stuff. I thought about taking the front shocks off, but they got rust on them, and I don't think anybody's going to want to buy rusty shocks, even though these only have 62,000 miles on them. Unless I put them on there like really dirt cheap. I don't know who would even want to. Oh, I could take that whole front subframe off. I forgot. I hardly put any bolts in this thing. That would help me with a lot of stuff. Disconnecting to take this whole front end off. I might do that. I forgot about that. If I disconnect the radiator hoses. Yeah. I only got one bolt in each side. There's a ground wire here that needs to come off. A plug. Oh, I think the whole harness would have to come off if I did that. Alright, I'm not worried about doing that. I've thought about taking the whole front end off, but honestly, I can get to everything I need to from here. I think. Alright. I'm procrastinating. Let's go. All right, I'm at a good point right now. I'm pretty sure I have everything disconnected up top. I'm pulling the whole fuse box and everything. I just disconnected the body harness that goes into the car from the fuse box, and that's just these ones right here. So the transmission module, the fuse block, the ECU, and everything's right there. I am probably going to try to sell this as one unit. That would be awesome if I could sell an engine, transmission, drop-in unit. That would be nice for somebody, even with the steering rack too. Probably try to sell that for like, I don't know, $3,000. These engines alone sell for almost $3,000. So that would be really nice because honestly, somebody could just drop out theirs and then put this in and then have a lower mileage power steering rack, transmission, engine, and then along with the ECU and all that other stuff. Not sure, what. Not sure if it would be like an easy drop-in. It would only work for CTSs just because of the ECU and stuff. If you're going to put this in a Camaro, you'd have to probably take the harness off and redo it. And I'm sure the rack's probably different on them and everything. So, anyways, I'm going to try it like that. I haven't even really got to see this engine because I know the oil pan's completely different on these because all-wheel drive ones, the differential's bolted to this side of the oil pan, and then a shaft runs through the oil pan, comes out this side. So if I ever, like when I had my Cadillac, if I ever needed an engine, I would have had to pull the engine, then pull the oil pan, swap them over, so I would have all-wheel drive. And then I know that this subframe's different and stuff, so I couldn't even use any of that. Yeah, so two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive is completely different. I don't know. The blocks might be the same, but I don't honestly know. So, anyways, let's get this pan down out. There's really not much to it. A couple tens, and then I'm going to disconnect the suspension, and then I got to disconnect the drive shaft and the electronics. I won't have to, no. I don't know if this is an electronic shifter or if there's actually a shifter cable. Okay, there's a shifter cable. I'll have to disconnect that, but that's honestly the only thing I'm going to have to disconnect because the harness is going to come off with it. Yeah. So this is going to be pretty straightforward. Yeah, just like all of them. When you get them from Copart, this brace is going to be bent every single time. This one actually fared out pretty good. Mine was bent on both sides. Doesn't affect the car, but yeah. It's just what they do. so mad I didn't look at my camera. I have a 128 gigabyte card. Okay. So I didn't look over at it. Right before I dropped the engine, my card got full. So I didn't get the footage of it. I'll show it to you anyways. So I already went all over this, plugged every hole. I already listed it online separate from my original ad for the whole drivetrain with the ECU, fuse box, TCU, or TCM, whatever you want to call it. All of that listed as one unit on the subframe with electric power steering, all that for $3,000, which if you price these engines as a steal, that's with the transmission, the engine, all of that. So I honestly don't think I'm going to get any hits on that. But then on top of that, I also said I would separate them. So if somebody wanted the transmission, I'll take the transmission off. But I'm just going to leave it on this cart for now. I was glad I had it on this cart and this cart. The transmission was sitting on this one. Then I jacked this up and I noticed that it was holding itself on this cart with the transmission. So all I did was I jacked it up. I shoved a board underneath there so it kind of relieves some of the pressure back here. And even if it does tip off, I mean, we're sitting on the ground. So, I mean, it didn't really go that far. So, yeah, just going to leave this as one assembly like this. And then... what else? I thought about taking the whole suspension off. I did take the front Brembos off. I'm going to take the back ones off too. But I thought about taking the whole knuckle and everything off, suspension-wise. But I don't know. I mean, I think it would be a hard sell. It'd be a hard thing to sell. What we have left, I want to pull the differential out. I already got one axle off. Unbolt this other one and then get the flange off here and drop this down out. I thought it was a limited slip one, but I also think that this thing would have moved itself if it was if it was a limited slip and I couldn't get it to move. So we'll get that out, and then let me see the brakes back here. Oh, they're not Brembos. They're just regular. Okay. I'm going to leave them on there. They can't be worth that much. The front ones are where the value is at. So really all I'm going to do now is drop the diff. There's a couple other things I want to do, but I'll do it later. Take the doors off, and then probably take the back seat and the passenger seat out. Because they still have good airbags. Well, I have the airbag for the back. The airbag's in the seat for the passenger seat. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I really don't see where... I mean, there's some modules here in the back. The amplifier, I think that's the amplifier right there for the stereo. I don't know what else is back there, but I don't think it's worth anything either. So, yeah. Got a good side skirt. It's outside. Alright. Well, let's get this diff out. I did forget there's another important thing I need to do to this thing before I scrap it. Now, I don't know if it's going to be any good or not, but the fuel in the fuel tanks, I don't know how I want to go about getting that out. I should just get a siphon pump and do it that way, probably. It goes in right here. I could take this off right here and then pump it out, but I can only get half of the tank drained that way. Another thing you could do is drill it out. I would say hand drill it. If you have a hand drill, I wouldn't use an electric drill, because electric drills cause sparks, and sparks and fuel. Or you use a punch. You could probably just use a punch and punch a hole in it. I don't know how I want to go about doing it, and I don't know how much is in it. I don't remember. So, yeah, I'll figure it out, but I should drain it into a big tub. That way I can siphon it into a fuel can. I do have a fuel can there, and I don't know how good this fuel is anyways. This thing's been sitting for a year. I don't know how long the fuel's been in it. It's how long it sat before I got it. So, I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. I'll get back to you guys. Alright, so here we are about a month, maybe longer than that later. Forgot to get back to you guys. So I had already backed my trailer into the garage, put it underneath the car, dropped it down, then remembered I needed to drain the fuel tanks, drilled them out, drained them into a pan, and then put that in a jug and filled the C10 up. Then I threw a lot of the stuff I had outside into it, like loaded it, and took some aluminum out and stuff. And I got close to $300 for the body, plus a bunch of scrap stuff in it. So, I mean, it wasn't a full car, it was just the body and stuff. That's pretty good, I think. $300. Then I sold the doors. It was under $300. I sold both the doors together to a guy for close, I want to say I sold them for $400. I can't remember. I think it was $400. Sold them to. So at this point, I still have everything else. So all I sold was the doors, and both passenger doors, and the scrap the car. But I just wanted to let you know that that's what I got out of it. So if you guys like this video, smash that like button. Consider subscribing. Hit the dislike button if your mom needs your tanks drilled out. And we'll see you on the next episode of Unwrapped. Not gonna get much out of the pussies because we're eating, huh? Yeah. Kitty. Boy, that's some good stuff. Stu man, how's your food? No comment. He's busy. Yeah, I know. He's so excited. Yes! He's purring and eating. That's different. Say bye-bye.